Welcome to Jose Cuervo Express in Tequila, Jalisco. We did the sunrise tour. We bought our tickets about 3 months in advance since they only do them on Saturdays. Registration was at 8, departure was at 9. We had bought tamales the night before to eat in the morning to be sure that we were well fed before we started drinking. They did have chilaquiles for us when we boarded. They then served a red sauce. So they're kind of more like chips, but at least they were keeping us fed throughout the trip. After that, they
Buenos días, es mi primera bebida.
Yes, we kept count of our drinks during the entire trip. Luckily, we were facing forward on the train. There are 4 people at each table. So if you're going to go with the group, you probably will get split up. But throughout the whole trip, they were giving us snacks. The fruit was nice and fresh. We had 3 different tequilas that we taste tested. Then when we got to Tequila, I was expecting mariachis there, but instead they replaced it with the show later that I actually really preferred. Then we went to the Jose Cuervo properties and there were vendors there, and we were there about 30 minutes. We did a tour in the museum, and then we had free time in Tequila. One of the things on the train, go to the restrooms before the train because sometimes there are no restrooms in your wagon, and then you would have to cross the moving train to go to the restroom in the next wagon. And we didn't do that, so I don't know if I would recommend that or not. Then after the tour of the museum or the cultural center, then they took us to the factory and we got to see the whole process of how tequila was made. And they served us strawberry margaritas. And afterwards there were cantaritos for sale.
Bebida número 7.
They then gave us about 3 hours of free time in Tequila, we've been there before, so that was perfect. We went to eat at Portales del Cielo, which I recommend because it has beautiful views on top. The letters of Tequila have been repainted since we were there in 2021, but there was a line, so we didn't take pictures there. After our time in Tequila, we went back to the Jose Cuervo Forum, and they had the show for us, which I think replaced the mariachi once you got off the train. And the show was just absolutely amazing. And then after the show, we still had another stop where we went to the Campos de Agave and saw more of the process. We took a little nap, and then when we got to the Campos, they had more drinks for us and more snacks, and they showed us how the jimadores would chop up the la piña, the pineapple, and then the mariachis that were at the show actually came back to this last stop, and there was more music, and there was still more dancing after this. So it was definitely a nonstop day, definitely a lot of fun. And I don't know how these people still had energy to do this. And my husband joined them. On the way back, we took a bus back and they had more snacks and more water for us. The bad part is that they return you to a different Jose Cuervo property, and from there you have to Uber to where you want to go. We've done both the tour and the bus. I recommend them both. They were both very different experiences. So that means that you need to do 2 trips to Tequila. Hopefully this info was helpful for you.
Este es el final del día. Saludcita. Creo que es 15. Y este sería el 16 hasta terminar. Y otros 2, 3 traguitos más de esta. Salud.